The following program is brought to you by our Patreon supporters. You can request podcast topics, enjoy exclusive RPG and video content, and more. Even just $1 a month gets you gameplay episodes a week early and makes you officially cool. Just like our trash elite Rob and a guy from Ohio, DG, Destrucity, KTL, Kitty, Holbrook, Drake, Starstorm, and Passion Killer 711. Greetings and salutations. It is I, Eric J. Chucky, joined as always by the boy.
Hello.
This is the Two Nerds Podcast, and today we are ranking movies that we did or did not see in 1995. We're batch recording today, kids, so no crumping over the next few episodes if it's in this context. It's just nice to have a little bit of a buffer sometimes.
And so we shall acquire it. Or we're going to get through all of these in 30 minutes and go, shit. You get to find out together with us.
That'd be funny. It'd be funny and good. You cannot do this on your own. I made this for me, and it will be deleted when I'm done with it. So,
haha. Moving on.
yeah. In case you guys aren't familiar with the format here, I mean, obviously you know what a tier list is. If you don't, as I often say, welcome to the internet, baby. How is the first thing you found our YouTube channel? What did your parents do wrong? I literally have the box ticked that this is not made for children, should not appear on YouTube Kids. What are you doing?
Anyway.
Let us know in the comments, baby. I want to give Real Podcast Starts timestamp guy something to talk about. It's the only thing he has in life. Or she. Yeah, this is about films. We're ranking them. We have to rank them even if we haven't seen them. That makes it fun. First movie we have seen, though, it is Babe. It is a tale of a pig based on the 1983 novel The Sheep Pig, and starring James Cromwell and Magda Zubanski, which is really shitty because there's a lot of voice. It's Christine Cavanaugh. It's starring Christine Cavanaugh. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
It's got Hugo Weaving in it. What are you doing? Be cool. So Babe. What are your thoughts on Babe? Tell me all your thoughts on Babe, because I'd really like to meet her. Babe the Pig in the movie is a boy. This is a reference to an old song.
He's feeling it today, folks. We're starting off with a very strange energy.
What if I don't want to be efficient?
Babe, I mean, I saw this movie when I was a kid. It was fine. It was fun. It was nothing to write home about. It was like a solid C, maybe. Yeah, C. Even B feels overly generous.
You think so?
Well, it wasn't a bad movie, but I have no fond memories of Babe. I have the man going, "That'll do, pig," and that's something that's stuck in my head as like a thing to repeat, but I don't think that counts as good.
You know, I haven't seen it in, gosh, at least 30 years. So, well, you know, and that makes sense because it came out in 95.
So you saw it when it came out, and then
I had it on tape.
Nair again.
Yeah. No, I watched it a couple times at home. I had it on tape. But, yeah, I guess C is fine. I might... It was a good kids movie, but...
And you know what? Tier lists are always relative, so we'll see the pack it's going with, and then...
We can move it later.
If we feel we need to.
Our next film is Bushwhacked. An American adventure comedy starring Daniel Stern, John Polito, Anthony Heald, and Brad Sullivan. Brad Sullivan! He doesn't even have a photo!
Okay.
I have never seen this film. It's about a camp counselor guy. Well, he's a criminal who pretends to be a camp counselor guy and goes with a bunch of kids, and it ends up being their only camp counselor on like a wilderness excursion. Hijinks ensue.
That sounds like a fun concept for a movie, and just to make sure I'm recognizing this guy from The Thing, Daniel Stern, that is the Wet Bandit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Marv Merchants. Today I learned Marv's last name.
Okay. Yeah, he's funny. He's a good physical comedy, good at working with kids. This is probably a fun movie. I've never seen it. It feels like a C. It feels like maybe a D.
It's probably a D. I've seen a YouTube editorial review of it. It's not very funny. I don't know if it's an F. but it's pretty stupid. The only thing that's really memorable about the film is its advertising campaign, where the screen has a big 90s font that says bushwhacked, and a guy makes that voice, and then a bunch of people are like, I'm getting bushwhacked, and they don't tell you anything about the movie.
Oh, that's always a good sign.
Yeah. Go see this film. Could you describe the film?
No.
I will not. Next up, we've got something to talk about. It's an American comedy drama from a screenplay written by Kelly Khoury, starring Julia Roberts and Dennis Quaid as an estranged couple. Kira Sedgwick is Robert's sister, and Robert Duvall and Gina Rowlands, or Rowlands, are their parents.
You famously don't like Julia Roberts.
I don't.
And I've never found Dennis Quaid charming in anything. So I feel like this is going to end up pretty low.
Yeah, it's just not really our kind of thing. I didn't know it was based on the song. I thought it was the other way around. I don't know. It's probably not that bad. I'm going to say probably better than Bushwhacked, but I don't care. D, does that sound good to you?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm not into this. Virtuosity. Science fiction action film starring Denzel Washington, Russell Crowe, and Kelly Lynch follows a disgraced ex-cop who must hunt down a virtual reality being composited from the personalities of multiple serial killers who has gained sentience and escaped into the real world. This sounds good, bad, and Denzel is there.
Denzel is way too good for this movie.
Have you seen this one?
No, this is one of the most acclaimed and storied actors of our time in what is objectively like a B movie.
A B movie, you say?
It's a type of movie. He doesn't own that.
We should get behind a fella?
He doesn't own the phrase.
It's probably a C, right?
Yeah. It's probably either Denzel's phoning it in, totally justified, or it's a really good main performance wrapped around a what the fuck situation and rest of movie.
And this seems like a movie I would add to one of my streaming queues and then never watch.
Yes, that is the exact vibe.
Yeah, that's a catch it on USA at 3 a.m. kind of film. The Brothers McMullen is a comedy drama written, directed, produced, and starring Edward Burns. It deals with the lives of three Irish Catholic McMullen brothers, the three. I missed the, and I had entered a world briefly where a McMullen brother is like
a known thing.
Yeah, and anyway, they're from Long Island. 3 months we see them. They grapple with basic ideas and values: love, sex, marriage, religion, and family in the 1990s. It was the first Fox Searchlight film.
Well, those are usually pretty widely acclaimed. To be perfectly honest, this is probably good, but it sounds like the most boring fucking 2.5 hours of my life. Yeah. 98 minutes, to be fair.
A little above a tight 90. I'm not interested. I'm going to say a D.
Yeah, I'm not interested. This is, again, probably good. I am firmly uninterested in it.
I'm going to put it there.
And I know this is stereotypical of me. If they were Irish, if they were actually Irish in Ireland, I might find it slightly more interesting.
And everything had like a little bit of a blue tint to it, and they were mostly talking about crime.
Or potatoes.
Or threatening each other. And who's to say? Maybe they do. Dangerous Minds is our next film.
Oh, Jesus, this the movie that launched 1,000 like rip-off movies and became so iconic that it's been parodied by like everything.
So we were discussing this yesterday or the day before, and we won't talk about the context in which we were discussing it, just to protect the innocent. But it's one of those things where if someone tried to watch this movie today, I don't think they could enjoy it.
No, you couldn't. This movie is too parodied. This movie is too it's beyond a dead horse. It is. This movie has been beaten into the ground. Thankfully,
I saw it not long after it came out.
Yeah, I also saw it when I was a kid. So.
I thought it was a really good film. We got Michelle Pfeiffer and as the teacher who's inspiring all these children in the inner city to uplift themselves instead of.
I feel like a bunch of the people who parody this hate this movie.
So it's got that, like, there's a lot of stuff you could look at from a what's the right way to say this? Culturally considerate lens that is problematic in our modern time. But back then,
it was earnest.
It was
trying to help.
It was trying to be, and it didn't. That's not. Was it a good movie? Is my concern here. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't know that I could watch it again today, but
I know I couldn't. I wouldn't be able to take it seriously.
I honestly say it's a solid B.
Okay, yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. All right. A Kid in King Arthur's Court.
Hey!
I'm not a big isekai fan, so
yeah, this is a solid isekai movie. Obviously an adaptation of the original isekai, A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court. Fight me. And this is a solid kids movie. I think I've seen part of this.
Oh, I thought you'd seen the whole thing. I know I've seen part of this because it was playing on many TVs in many department stores.
I believe I've seen. It's possible I've seen all of it. My memory isn't great anymore. I remember bits of this, but I do not remember enough of this to be able to confidently say I have seen this.
A teenage baseball player from the suburbs of Los Angeles is swallowed by the ground during an earthquake, but somehow time travels to the court of an elderly King Arthur in the 6th century. He's thought to be a messianic figure from Merlin's prophecies, and the time traveler develops a crush on young Princess Katie, but the girl is kidnapped in an effort to blackmail her older sister into marrying one of the courtiers. We are starring Thomas Ian Nichols, Joss Ackland, and Art Malik.
It feels mean to give this anything lower than a C, because this is,
I'm going to say it goes below Babe and Denzel.
Yeah. Also, possible correction to the thing I said earlier and told you to fight me about, is Dante's Inferno an isekai?
I don't know, man. There's only like one way to get to hell. I don't know if that's
fair.
Yeah.
Truck-kun wasn't involved.
Yeah, that'd be like it's an isekai if your character drives to the store.
That's fair. That's fair.
What a wild alternate reality you've entered. Does that make the Backrooms an isekai?
Let's move on.
All right. Unzipped. American documentary film directed by Douglas Keeve. Man, they're making up any old last name these days. It follows fashion designer Isaac Mizrahi, Keeve's then boyfriend, as he plans and ultimately shows his fall 1994 collection. The film put such a rift in their relationship over the depiction that the two broke up over it.
Oh!
There's a bunch of supermodels in it.
This feels mean-spirited and probably kind of boring.
I am not really big into the bureaucracy of the fashion world, so I don't think it's for me.
I know the name of the guy it's about, and that says that he's probably really famous. D?
I'm thinking D. I'm probably better than Bushwhacked. We move to now Walk in the Clouds. Period romantic drama film, which is bold. You didn't talk about menstruation that strongly in the 90s.
Waka
starring
waka.
It's a comedy show. I'm trying my best. Starring Keanu Reeves, Aitana Sanchez Gijon, Giancarlo Gianni, who was in Golden Wind.
Oh!
Yeah, he was the main character. Angelica Aragon, Evangelina Elizondo, Deborah Messing, and Anthony Quinn.
I'm going to be honest, this is an early 90s or mid 90s drama starring Keanu Reeves, and by God, I love Keanu. He's so sweet. He's such a nice person. This is probably a rough sit.
Former candy salesman after World War II returns to San Francisco to reunite with his wife, who he married following a whirlwind courtship the day before he departed for the Pacific. The war has left him with emotional scars, and he experiences flashbacks on a regular basis. I don't care.
God love you, Keanu. This is probably bad.
I mean, it might be good. I don't know. Well, let's see. What was it rated? How did people feel about it? Reception. 4 out of 5 stars from Roger Ebert.
Wow, he was maybe at the peak of his bitter dickhead powers in the 90s. Maybe this is great.
46% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, that's not a great sign.
The Keanu Reeves is miscast is the big problem. So sort of like Leonardo DiCaprio in Titanic. He doesn't do it's not great. So I'm gonna say D because we don't care.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm gonna leave it at below the Irish Brothers. That might be pretty good. Okay, the Babysitters Club film.
The
based
only
on the novel series.
the only interaction I had with Babysitter's Club in my life was being vaguely aware of it and then it coming up as a plot point in the Twisted Metal series. Despite having many sisters growing up, this was not a book series I had any interaction with.
I didn't either. The closest I got was when I was buying Boxcar Children novels in the Meyer. Babysitter's Club novels were nearby. You would think as much of a Sailor Moon fan as I was around that time, I might have been curious, but I just wasn't. I just don't like babysitting.
Yeah, you know what? If it was like any other kind of club.
The Teen Girl Adventurers Club, the, tween responsibility hour parentheses female, I might have been more interested in those, especially because those titles are quite provocative.
But them being around babies, no thank you.
This is at all about watching children. I'm good, thank you. It's Larissa Oleynik's film debut, Rachel Lee Cook's film debut, and a bunch of other people. Who cares? If you like the Babysitter's Club, I'm sure it was fine. If you aren't interested in it, I'm sure you're not interested in it. I'm going to put it above Irish Brothers in D. I'm sure it's fine.
It's more iconic, certainly.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't evaluate. And that feels unfair. Where did we put...
Do we put it up in C?
I'm going to say the bottom of C.
There you go.
All right. Sounds good to me. Now for a film I did see, Mortal Kombat.
So S tier, right? Like we should talk about it also, but I feel like S tier it's only fair.
You think S tier?
It's not the best movie ever made. It's a little, corny. It's a little over the top, but by God, if it wasn't the best video game movie made for like 10 years on either side of it.
Wow, I think A tier. I'm just not sure about S tier.
You know what? I could be talked down to A tier. It's just so iconic. It's so good. It has so many moments, and like Christopher Lambert is so good in it.
Yeah, this follows the plot of the game. For those of you who aren't familiar, invents a plot based on the game. And yeah, the only notable person in it is Christopher Lambert. I mean, there's people we know now. And Cary Tagawa, but otherwise, it's a pretty C-Z list cast. But yeah, I think A is absolutely fair. It's pure cheese.
Yeah, but it's
delicious.
I mean that in the best way.
Yeah. The Amazing Panda Adventures. An adventure film.
I've seen this cover
Really?
of this movie. No, I haven't seen the movie. I want to be clear. I have seen this cover in video stores and on it so many times in my life.
I have no memory of this. I feel like I should remember this. It's about a 10-year-old American boy who travels to China and has to take a panda cub to the rescue so it can reunite with its mother. It was a Warner film.
I may have seen the trailer for this at some point too.
It's so wild that I do not, because I was a 10-year-old boy in 1995. This should have been
right up your alley.
Yeah, but
you like pandas? They're great.
There's nothing wrong with pandas. But you know what? I wasn't really into movies like this. Like even Flipper, I don't care. That's nice.
A boy and his dog is not really you're more of a boy and his blob type of guy.
Ain't I just? I don't know. This is probably fine. Irish Brothers up here. What do you think?
Oh, I don't know anything about this movie. It's probably
tier.
like not great. D?
D? You want to say D?
I think D can be the home of stuff we're not interested in, but might otherwise be fine. Whereas F has to be reserved for stuff that is actively bad.
I think that's a good logical idea. This is the period of the Chinese food meal that it follows your crab delights. Beyond Rangoon, a biographical drama thriller directed by John Boorman. Thank you for not shitting on my comedy intro. About
better.
Laura Bowman, who is portrayed by Patricia Arquette, an American tourist who vacations in the country of Burma, now known as Myanmar, in 1988.
Myanmar. I don't know.
Whatever. It's going to come out later that you pronounce it way different. I'm going to feel stupid. Anyway, the 8888 uprising takes place in 1988. Though it is a work of fiction, it was inspired by real people and real events, mostly filmed in Malaysia. This is not...
I mean, this is probably a very thrilling movie of the time. Boy, do I not care.
Yeah, mixed. I'd have to see a trailer, and then I'd be like, "Oh, okay, that looks good or bad." Oh, Irish Boys.
Sure.
Okay, you want me to put a little higher because you like Crab Rangoon?
It feels in some way insensitive,
See,
but
see for crab.
like I can't deny the joke.
All right, Desperado. I have not seen this, although I have seen a later film in the series.
This is the one is followed by like Once Upon a Time in Mexico or something like that.
Yeah.
I've seen Once Upon a Time in Mexico. I have not seen this.
Or no. Yes, Once Upon a Time in Mexico. I was getting it confused with The Mexican, a film that came out around the same time,
But it's
starring
not
Julia
related.
Roberts and a gun.
But he's not related.
No, it's not related. Yeah, this is a Robert Rodriguez film. Antonio Banderas as El Mariachi, seeking revenge on the drug lord who killed his lover.
This probably fucks, right?
Co-star Salma Hayek. Yeah.
This is probably great.
Yeah.
It's almost certainly excellent. I Once Upon a Time in Mexico is excellent. I know that.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. I'm gonna say it's probably at least an A.
Yeah, absolutely. It belongs at the very least with Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, closer to home. Also known by the working title Looking for America, is an independent drama film directed by Joe Nobile, who screened in 30 international film festivals. Follows the story of Dallas, a poor provincial girl who struggles to journey from the Philippine countryside to New York City to marry Dean, a disillusioned American ex-merchant marine. She's hoping to buy a cure for her dying sister and ultimately a future for her debt-ridden family, while he hopes to escape his disintegrating American family through love and find a family of his own. I don't care. It seems like people liked it, especially people in the Philippines.
Well, that's good. That's what you want to see. Because otherwise that could come across as sex tourism, the movie. But if they liked it, then it's probably fine.
I'm gonna say
I'm not interested.
Crab Rangoon. In fact, it had better reviews than Crab Rangoon. So
there you go.
Dr. Jekyll and Ms. Hyde. I feel like I remember trailers for that. It's a comedy science fiction film where a dude turns into a lady, starring Sean Young, Tim Daly, and Lisette Anthony.
I would wager this is not the kind of movie that has aged well.
No, I also think that.
I think this comes across most likely as extremely insensitive now.
Probably. And probably the humor wasn't very good. It's got Harvey Fierstein in it, though, so that might be fun.
11% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yikes.
I want to be clear. Rotten Tomatoes is not a good metric of whether or not a movie is good.
No.
It is unreliable, but it's a fun stat to read out. This one feels like maybe it has to go into F tier.
Okay, yeah, I don't want to watch this. I'll put it that way. Lord of Illusions. Neo-noir supernatural horror film written and directed by Clive Barker based on his own short story.
This might be a lot better than I was expecting. Look at that poster.
Yeah.
That's evocative.
Yeah, it's following his detective character, Harry D'Amour. It was his first on-screen appearance, portrayed by Scott Bakula.
Oh, Scott Bakula.
We've also got Kevin J. O'Connor, Famke Janssen, and Daniel von Bargen.
Oh.
D'Amour has several experiences with the supernatural, embarking on an investigation involving a stage illusionist named Swan and a cult led by a sorcerer named Nyx. I'm gonna say it's a solid C, maybe.
Yeah, that's fine. I haven't seen it, so I can't say it's good, but like, I don't know. That sounds really interesting.
Yeah, I hate to say this about Clive Barker, really dumb
and boring.
Yeah.
It just kind of depends. You get all sorts.
Our next film is The Thief and the Cobbler. This was one of its re-releases.
This is the one that's been in development hell for eons, since the ancient times.
I'm not sure when it was actually. They're counting this as a release. It was originally devised in the 1960s. It's a really fascinating story. I encourage you to look up the story of this film. And the animation is exquisite. I've never actually sat down and watched it. Yeah, there's 3 different versions here, as you can see. and then more beside that were like minor edits. Read this Wikipedia article if you want. Just absolutely fascinating. Yeah, this will probably tell you most of it. I have not seen it, but I'd say it's probably a B just for the animation.
Big portions of this lost and stuff. This is a whole
cut.
This is a whole story beyond the movie.
Yeah, I'm going to say B. It's a fine reinterpretation of a traditional story, and the animation is exquisite.
Yeah, okay, I'm nothing against it.
Our next contestant, the Tuskegee Airmen. Based on the exploits of an actual groundbreaking unit, the first African-American combat pilots in the United States Army Air Corps who fought in World War II. Starring Lawrence Fishburne, Cuba Gooding Jr., John Lithgow, Courtney B. Vance, Andre Braugher, Malcolm Jamal Warner, Alan Payne, and Mekhi Phifer.
That's probably a really good movie.
Yeah, it's probably a little serious for me. Like a little dry, you know?
Absolutely. It's a military movie. You're not really a big fan of those.
No, I'm not.
But I think this is probably something that is... I would probably enjoy this, but it's nothing I would seek out.
It was good enough that it started as an HBO movie and then got a theatrical release. Criticism said it was cliched dialogue and slow, stagey scenes, but overall it was favorable. Yeah, I think C, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, C.
I wouldn't seek this out, but I imagine I'd have a good time if it was on.
All right. Last film of August. Magic in the Water. Family adventure fantasy film. Starring Mark Harmon, Joshua Jackson, Harley Jane Kozak, and Sarah Wayne, follows two siblings and their preoccupied father who takes them on a vacation to a remote Canadian lake in British Columbia where the siblings discover the lake is said to be inhabited by a mysterious lake monster. So, what, Champy?
I don't think that's Lake Champlain.
Orky. It's called Orky.
Okay, so it's its own unique one.
Yeah. Received generally negative reviews from critics. Yeah, I don't give a crap about this.
It looks like a bad E.T. wannabe.
It's so many movies have done this plot. Children discover not Nessie.
Or so children discover a mythological creature, and then hijinks don't quite manage to ensue.
Yeah, and it's so often a lake monster.
Well, it's just a very popular kind of monster, really.
It's probably better than Bushwhacked.
Sometimes you get Bigfoot, and then you get Amazing Movie. You know?
Yeah. Harry and the Hendersons, great. All right, moving on to September. That's what follows August. The Prophecy. Fantasy thriller horror film starring Christopher Walken, Elias Koteas, Virginia Madsen, Eric Stoltz, and Viggo Mortensen.
Hold on. Just that stat line.
The film tells the story of the Archangel Gabriel, Christopher Walken, and his search for an evil soul on Earth, and a police detective, Koteas, who unknowingly becomes caught in the middle of an angelic civil war. It was followed by 4 sequels.
This sounds fucking great.
I might have seen this, but I was not paying that much attention. Yeah, this sounds pretty solid.
Elias Koteas, always great. Always. Christopher Walken as Gabriel, that's fucking casting right there. Viggo Mortensen as Lucifer. Pre-Lord of the Rings, Viggo Mortensen as the Devil. I think not only is this gotta go high, it's gotta go on the list of stuff we want to watch.
Yeah. Prophecy. I want to say B. Do you want to say B? Sounds good.
I'm very hype about this existence, but I haven't actually seen it, so I don't think it can go higher.
That's kind of where I'm thinking, yeah. It might disappoint us.
I'm going to give myself a little message here that we should not forget.
Last of the Dogmen, a Western film written and directed by Tab Murphy in his feature debut. Stars Tom Berenger, Barbara Hershey, Kurtwood Smith, and Steve Revis. We should do that more. Just add Wood to the end of people's names. Bill Wood, Alan Wood, Stephanie Wood.
Yeah, I'm sure. Why not?
Set in the mountains of northwest Montana, United States. This film is about a bounty hunter, I don't know where I got the word briefly, who tracks escaped convicts into a remote region and encounters an unknown band of dog soldiers from a tribe of Cheyenne natives. The film was shot on location in Alberta and British Columbia, Canada, as well as in Mexico. Critical reviews were mixed to positive, though the film was a box office disappointment. It might be okay.
This feels like a this very much feels like a 90s Western.
Yeah.
They have a particular vibe, and this fits it. I'm not interested in this.
No, I'd say probably C. That sound good?
It seems a little...
The Illusion Man.
If you're more interested in it than I am, sure.
It was probably okay. Well, maybe below that one.
Okay.
I'd rather watch the cowboy movie. All right, there we go. Okay, next film. National Lampoon's Senior Trip.
No, thank you.
Jeremy Renner's film debut.
Well, good for Jeremy Renner. Sorry to hear about that. You had to work with Chevy Chase or something.
An Ohio school in the suburbs of Dayton sends teens. Someone write this. I just went back and watched a podcast of ours talking about a different website where information is aggregated and edited by the populace. And they so painstakingly went through and collected information about stuff that doesn't matter. Why not Wikipedia? Why not tell me the things I need to know about a film? Give me a blurb. What is this, the back of a book?
Nobody wants to bother.
Nobody, I'll bother them.
You know what? I didn't see Chevy Chase in the starring list.
Brewer, Tommy Chong.
This is basically, I don't like Chevy Chase. I don't think he's very funny, and turns out he was an asshole anyway. That was actually really convenient for me.
Tara Strong in a live action role.
But so any National Lampoon movie that doesn't have him in it, that's a bonus. He is actually one of the things keeping me from watching Community.
Man, they say he was a nightmare on there. The thing keeping me from watching Community was Community. I'm going to say this is probably bad.
Yeah, probably. It looks bad.
Okay. The Tie That Binds, not the ties that bind. Starring Daryl Hannah, Keith Carradine, Vincent Spano, and Moira Kelly, and also Julia Devon. Film follows a couple who have just adopted a 6-year-old girl, only to discover that her biological parents, a murderous couple, are trying to reclaim her. Received negative critical reviews. Julia Devon was nominated for Best Young Supporting Actress Feature Film, but lost out to Christy Young in Gordy. Justice for Gordy has been achieved.
There you go.
It sounds like it might be okay.
It sounds like it'd be a fine movie for someone else to watch, but I don't give a shit about that.
I don't really watch horror thrillers that much. I hesitate to put it in.
I don't think it deserves F.
No.
I think D is home for this.
Probably there. The Julia Roberts movie's probably better. Y'all are probably going to be surprised. Probably. I've never seen To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar.
I have seen bits of this, but again, it's much like the kid in King Arthur's Court. I don't remember enough of it to be able to confidently say I've seen all of it. So I'm going to say I probably haven't seen this.
It is a road comedy drama film starring Wesley Snipes, Patrick Swayze, and John Leguizamo as 3 New York City drag queens who embark on a road trip. The title refers to the iconic autographed photo of Julie Newmar they carry with them on their journey, and she also has a cameo appearance in the film as herself.
As I understand it, this movie is extremely beloved in certain circles as iconic and trailblazing, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, I haven't either. Oh, we've got Stockard Channing. Wow, that's exciting. I'm gonna say it's probably at least a B. I don't know how well it's aged.
It's so beloved with the demographic it portrays and it's from the 90s that it has to be at least pretty good.
It might be an A or an S. I just haven't seen it, so I can't judge.
Yeah.
I'm going to say at least a B. Truman. This is why they had to name that other film Capote. Directed by Frank Pearson, written by Thomas Rickman, based on David McCullough's Pulitzer Prize-winning 1992 book, Truman. Starring Gary Sinise as Truman. The film centers on Truman. The president, and his decision to bomb shit. I don't care. I'm sure it was very well acted. I don't care. What about you?
I really hope that it includes the scene where he calls Oppenheimer a pussy.
Great.
D? I don't know.
Yeah, D, I think. Better or worse than Crab Rangoon?
I don't know. I don't have an opinion on.
Would you rather eat Crab Rangoon or the President Truman?
Oh, Crab Rangoon.
Okay. All right. Okay. Next film. Yes, indeed. Next film. Clockers. I don't like that.
That's yeah, no. Something feels off about. I mean, it's a Spike Lee movie.
Okay. Based on a 1992 novel of the same name by Richard Price, film stars Harvey Keitel, John Turturro, Delroy Lindo, and Mekhi Phifer in his debut role, ignoring the fact that he had a film earlier this year. Originally entered production with Scorsese.
It probably just took long enough to produce.
He just dropped out to go do Casino because he cared more. Generally positive reviews from critics. It's about a group of street-level drug dealers, which are called clockers, working for Rodney Little, a local drug lord.
It's probably, I mean, Spike Lee's excellent. This is probably excellent. I've never seen it.
Oh, we got Isaiah Washington, Keith David, Sticky
John
Fingers.
Turturro.
All right. Can I say something controversial?
Absolutely.
While I recognize his skill as an actor, I don't know that I give a shit about John Turturro. And every time somebody tells me how great John Turturro is, I give like 0.5% of a shit less. And it adds up. Because people will not stop.
A slow but steady hype backlash building
really,
towards Turtle Man.
Yeah. Yeah, this is probably really good. I don't know that
I would put it in C because it definitely is something that I would watch if it was offered to me, but like I don't want to seek it out.
You think above Babe?
Sure.
What if Babe, the Pig in the City, were here?
Below that, obviously.
Yeah.
Pig swinging on a chandelier.
I actually didn't like Babe, Pig in the City.
Me neither, but what am I going to do? Not do the joke?
Yeah, it's a good bit. Angus stars George C. Scott, Chris Owen, Ariana Richards, Anna Thompson, and Charlie Talbert in his film debut as the eponymous character, as well as Kathy Bates. Based on the short story A Brief Moment in the Life of Angus Bethune by Chris Crutcher. Mostly filmed in Ottawa. It is a coming-of-age tale about Angus, who, despite his talents in football and science, holds deep insecurities. I don't care. It's about people bullying a young fellow.
That's unfortunate. Yeah. D?
People seem to like it, but I really am not interested. I would rather eat Angus steak than crab rangoons, though. How about you?
Sure.
Okay.
Now is going to be the time when we have to fight.
Why?
If we're putting hackers anything less than S tier, we're gonna have a problem.
Why would we fight about that?
You agree also?
Hack the
planet?
It's a
hack the planet.
It is pure cheese, but it is one of the most enjoyable movies I have ever seen.
Hackers is excellent. It is cheesy. It is incredibly 90s, and I love it with all of my beating heart. Hack the Planet.
It is a cheesy crime thriller starring Johnny Lee Miller, Angelina Jolie, Fisher Stevens, and Lorraine Bracco, with Jesse Bradford, Matthew fucking Lillard, Lawrence Mason, and Renoli Santiago. Follows a group of high school hackers and their involvement in an attempted theft. They don't understand the internet.
The version of the internet that exists in Hackers is better than the real internet. I want to say that.
It's what all of us who liked cyberpunk shit wished the internet was. This film is so fun and so good and so stupid, and absolutely it belongs in S tier.
All right.
No argument.
Absolutely.
No fight at all. Mute Witness. The German title Stumme Seuchen, and I can't read Cyrillic. It's a 1995 horror thriller film written, directed, and produced by Anthony Waller. His debut stars Marina Zadina, Faye Ripley, and Oleg Yankovsky, featuring a brief cameo appearance by Alec Guinness in his final film role. In a theatrical release film, anyway. Follows a mute American makeup artist working on a slasher film in Moscow who is pursued by a crime organization making and dealing snuff films after she stumbles upon one of their film sets and witnesses a murder.
Oh, well, that's an interesting premise.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch this.
It seems like it did pretty well. Roger Ebert praised the film, comparing it favorably to Halloween and Blood Simple. Mostly positive reviews, it seems. So, yeah, I think... Oh, I'm so sorry. Mute Witness, I'd say at least a C.
This can be one that can elevate up to a C, even though I personally don't care to watch it.
Probably better than Tuskegee. Yeah, I'll put it there. All right. The Stars Fell on Henrietta is a drama from Warner Brothers, directed by James Keach and produced by Clint Eastwood, based on a short story written by Winifred Sanford, titled Luck. The script for the film was penned by Philip Railsback, who is Sanford's grandson.
Well, you told us a whole bunch of shit that isn't the movie.
I'll just go down here to the references. Winifred Sanford, Zenith City Online, archived from the original.
Stop it. This is not funny.
Let us know in the comments. You know what? Actually, don't comment if it's the most hilarious thing you've heard this
Oh, no!
Setting is early America during the oil boom, an elderly down on his luck oil man, in quotes, Mr. Cox, finds him exposed because he's not actually a man made of oil. I suppose that's why we put that in quotation marks. Finds himself in the town of Henrietta. Using unconventional methods, he convinces himself and the local Don Day that there's oil on Day's land. The financially strapped Day puts everything into finding oil, but at what cost? Well, everything. You sort of spoiled that. Robert Duvall, Adrian Quinn, Francis Fisher, Brian Dennehy, Billy Bob Thornton, and some others. How did it do? Mixed. It doesn't sound... It's sort of like There Will Be Blood, but less intense.
Less good There Will Be Blood is what I'm getting from this. No, thank you.
Would you rather eat a man made of oil or President Truman?
President Truman.
Okay. And what about Irish Boys?
President Truman.
No, I mean, a man made of oil or Irish Boys.
That's comedy.
Damn you. Fine. Unstrung Heroes. Comedy drama film directed by Diane Keaton, starring Andy McDowell. We love an Andy McDowell. John Turturro, he's back. Michael Richards and Maury Chaykin, who is most noteworthy for having a name dyslexic people think is Macaulay Culkin. Based on the memoir of the same name by journalist Franz Lids, when young Stephen's mother Selma is diagnosed with ovarian cancer, and becomes increasingly ill, his eccentric and emotionally distant inventor father Sid, allows him to live with his dysfunctional uncles, compulsive hoarder Arthur and delusional paranoid Danny, in their cluttered apartment in the rundown King Edward Hotel. It sounds weird. It sounds...
Comedy drama sounds accurate.
Screwball-y and upsetting. Mostly positive reviews. I don't know that I want to watch this, but I think there was a point in my life where I would have.
I think like 2010, you would have fucked with this heavy.
I'm thinking C, but at the bottom of C.
Sure.
Okay. What, did you have any thoughts on that?
No, I can't think of one.
Okay. John Turturro's there.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to say anything. I don't want you to like him less.
The Usual Suspects, directed by Bryan Singer, stars Kevin Spacey, Gabriel Byrne, Benicio del Toro, Stephen Baldwin looking as weird as he's ever looked, Kevin Pollak, Chaz Palminteri, and Pete Postlethwaite. Just always a good name. Plot follows the interrogation of Roger Verbal Kint, a small-time con man who is one of the only two survivors of a massacre on a fire on a ship docked at the port of Los Angeles. Through flashback narration, Kint tells an interrogator a convoluted story of events that led to him and his criminal companions to the boat, and of a mysterious crime lord known as Kaiser Sose, who controlled them. This is a well-regarded film I've never seen.
It is... It's a very normie take. It is good. It's a good movie.
So the problem is, I was spoiled on it.
Oh, and fuck! Yeah, no, the movie doesn't work.
No, it's one of those movies that...
No,
not good with...
This movie's 30 years old, and I'm not saying the spoiler, because if you have the spoiler, the movie doesn't work, dog. It's a magic trick.
So, what do you think? B, probably? B, if you don't know the spoiler?
Yeah, if somehow you don't know the spoiler of The Usual Suspects, B. Okay. Being as we actually exist in the real world, probably C.
I'll put it in B. We'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Canadian Bacon is a film I remember seeing a bunch of ads for, or maybe I just saw it at the video store. It did not have this cover.
This looks way more
intense.
Yeah.
We've got Alan Alda, John Candy in his final film role, Bill Nunn, Kevin J. O'Connor, Rhea Perlman, Kevin Pollak, G.D. Spradlin, goddamn Spradlin, and Rip Torn. Tells the story of a struggling president who is persuaded by his confidants to fight with Canada when a local sheriff and his friends get involved. I believe people think it's pretty funny.
I know it as John Candy's last movie. I've never seen it. This is a fucking take. This is a hot take. All right, I'm gonna get it's risky for me to put this on the internet. I've seen almost no John Candy movies. I know he's very well regarded. I know everyone thinks he's funny. I have seen almost none of his movies.
He's my favorite of the overweight ex-SNL people.
Of that class of like 90s and 80s guys who were fat and then got out of SNL and became famous.
And then died. Yes.
You like him more than Chris Farley? I would say Farley's my favorite.
Has a lot of thrusty acting.
Yes.
And I am no longer in the 90s, so that's not even anywhere near as funny as it once was.
Fair.
I'm going to say probably C.
Okay. I'm not again. I mean, look, he's well regarded.
I'm going to put it at the top of C because I don't think there's anything in here we'd want to eat more than Canadian bacon. It's just like a funny ham, and that's wonderful.
It's delicious.
Yeah. Empire Records is a film I probably should have seen 20 years ago.
Yeah, you should have.
I might sit down and watch it someday. It's one of those that's been, buzzing around me my entire life.
You might be too old for it.
I might be, but I think I'd still like to have the experience. And what is it, a tight 90? Exactly a tight 90. Who am I?
It's going to take us this long to do this recording.
Yeah. All right. It's directed by Alan Moyle, written by Carol Hagenin, and starring an ensemble cast including Anthony LaPaglia, Maxwell Caulfield, Ethan Embry, Debbie Mazar, Roy Cochran, Johnny Whitworth, Robin Tunney, Renee Zellweger, and Liv Tyler. Plot follows a group of record store employees over the course of one exceptional day. The employees try to stop the store from being sold to a large chain and learn about each other along the way. It's generally negative reviews, but it has gone on to become a cult classic.
Yeah.
And that happens to a lot of films. Empire Records, I don't know. I think it's fair to put it in C.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
I'm aware of it.
Yeah, right there. Seems fine. Middle C. Okay. Do you want to continue through to the end of September? Or do you want to pick up here in the next episode?
I think we pick up here.
I think that sounds like a fabulous idea. We're breaking the mold, ladies and gentlemen, for you.
The people.